wonderful. That place is wonderful. And the sun is shining. And you must remember, you must never forget, you must remember every minute of every day in Edinburgh.
We were able to see the crown jewels of Scotland and the Stone of Destiny. The Stone of Destiny was used to coronate royalty in Scotland as well as England and was in Westminster until 1996. It was last used for coronation of Elizabeth II in 1953. It now resides in the Edinburgh Castle. There were 26 sieges of Edinburgh Castle, changing hands between the British and the Scottish. This big cannon shot 330-pound ball stones up to 2 miles and struck fear into the hearts of those it was aimed at. Edinburgh Castle dates back to the 12th century for use as a royal palace. St. Margaret's Chapel. It is the oldest remaining building in the original castle. Scottish soldiers were involved in the Battle of Waterloo against the French and also in World War II against the Germans and the Japanese. The center of Edinburgh Castle Robert Burns is the national poet of Scotland and was voted the greatest Scot of all time. He wrote the song Auld Lang Syne. Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde based on the double life of Deacon Brodie as a cabinet maker and a criminal. Deacon Brodie was hanged and buried in St. Cuthbert's Cemetery. This is a statue of Wojciech, a Syrian brown bear bought by Polish soldiers in Iran during World War II. He was made a private so that he might travel with his troops. After assisting the British Eighth Army by carrying 100-pound crates of bombs during the Battle of Monte Cassino in Italy, he was promoted to be a corporal. Eventually, he retired to the Edinburgh Zoo as a very famous bear. The Prince's Street Gardens below the Edinburgh Castle.
It is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been and so it goes. The pond that is life and is dipped eternally. For all of you who will discover, for all who see to understand, for having lived the path of
Kind of oddly decorated, this is the Scottish Parliament building. This is Holyrood Castle, home for kings and queens since the 16th century, and now a residence for Queen Elizabeth II for 1 week each year. It just so happens that this was the week, so we couldn't visit the palace. We were told that the Queen was having a tea party for several thousand people, and we noticed these people smartly dressed with their ascots and nice clothing heading in that direction. The Queen is famous for wearing hats, so you don't want to be without one. The Firth of Forth Bridge. Firth means an inlet, and this of the river Forth. And so this body of water is called the Firth of Forth. And so this is the Firth of Forth Bridge. That's dramatic. Yeah, this is, I don't know how
What's this bridge called? Do you know?
the Firth of Forth Bridge, or it's got a certain name.
Fourth Bridge.
Yeah.
Get a picture of the picture of that red bridge.
Aberdour was one of our favorite castles because it had limited reconstruction. But also had very beautiful landscaping. This ducat had boxes for 600 pigeons. They would eat the pigeons and use their eggs. Here we are in a small cafe in Aberdeen Castle, eating millionaire dollar bars famous throughout the United Kingdom. Then, in dress of the day, in the great hall of the Aberdeen Castle. On to St. Andrew's Castle and Cathedral. John Knox was a great Protestant Reformed preacher in Scotland. After one of his powerful sermons, Protestants destroyed many altars, statues, and other ornaments in St. Andrew's Church. St. Andrew's Castle and Cathedral are located right on the North Sea. We climbed St. Rule's Tower to the top. Nearby the castle was St. Andrew's Golf Course, one of the most famous in the world and also the oldest golf course. We had supper in a town named Cupar near St. Andrews. Kelpies are said to be shape-changing spirits that inhabit the waters. These sculptures were completed in 2013. These horses stand 90 feet tall. The Falkirk wheel is an odd invention that takes boats from a canal up higher on a hill and through a canal brings it down to a lower canal. Stirling Castle is considered the most important castle historically in Scotland. Stirling Castle sits high on a hill and is the site of many battles between the English and the Scottish. The Great Hall was in this special building that was colored differently. Doon Castle was also interesting, as it also did not have a lot of reconstruction. Because of its shape, it was called the ship that never sailed. This is Linlithgow Castle, where Mary, Queen of Scots, and James V were born. Linlithgow is considered one of the more opulent castles. Linlithgow Castle, along with Doon, Blackness, and Aberdour, were all in the TV series Outlander. On our way to Loch Lomond and Glen Coe, we fell upon the small village called Luss, where they were having Highland games. Luss is a tiny village right on the shores of Loch Lomond. Loch Lomond is the largest lake by surface area. Then the next is Loch Ness. Janet fit right in with the flowers. There were dance contests, bagpipe contests, tug-of-wars, hammer throws, stone throws, and the dogs wanting your attention. Some of Janet's relatives on her mother's side were Calhouns, which is the Colquhoun clan, which can be seen playing here. Notice the blue, green, and thin red line tartan pattern. The stone throw. And there were bagpipe competitions. The hammer throw.
So at the open high jump then, it's Ewan Bradley wearing the pink top green shorts, Stuart Clark with the slightly lilac colour at the high jump. So it was by Ewan Bradley next up then at the high jump.
Clan a Drummond group. Ruff, ruff. Loch Lomond is 24 miles long and 623 feet deep. It's off the Glen Coe, a steep-sided valley in the Scottish Highlands. Notice the train viaduct that is similar to the Glen Finnan viaduct that was seen in the Harry Potter movie. Urquhart Castle on Loch Ness, the largest medieval castle in Scotland. Medieval catapult. Notice the heavy rocks it throws. A demonstration of how a woman should wear a kilt.
Well done. Now, first thing you notice is a long piece of cloth that's hanging down the back. That's going to be used at night time as a sleeping bag. The Highlander's going to wrap.
From Urquhart Castle, we went to downtown Inverness to do some shopping. We learned about the Culcahoon tartan. Inverness is the cultural capital of the Highlands. The famous battlefield of Culloden is just outside of Inverness. It commemorates the gallant Highlanders who fought for Scotland and Prince Charlie. Culloden battlefield, the last battle fought on British soil. A battlefield site. Scottish Highland cattle. Harbour in Corpac, Scotland. This is where we stayed. At 4,413 feet, Ben Nevis is the highest mountain in the British Isles. It is found in the Grampian Mountain Range in Lochaber by Fort William. On our way to the Isle of Skye, we drove along Loch Garry. Eileen Donan Castle by Kyle of Lacosh. Eileen Donan means Island of Donan. Donan was a bishop in the 6th century. This iconic castle is the most photographed and was originally established in the 13th century. It was reconstructed by 1932 after being abandoned for 200 years. Here's the bridge to the Isle of Skye. After crossing a bridge from the Scottish mainland, we're on the Isle of Skye. We're on our way to see a rock formation called the Old Man of the Store and the Keyrang Rocks. The tall, pointed spire in the background is called the Old Man of the Store. This is the old man and the old man of the store. Here it is again, barely visible above the mountains. These rocks in the background are known as the Keyrang. It's a landslip summit in the northernmost part of the Isle of Skye. This is the Atlantic Ocean, as the Isle of Skye is located on the Inner Hebrides Islands of Scotland.
Baba. That's fine.
Aye, bye bye, Scotland.